Hey everyone, welcome back to the Ellenik Project. So today, oleanders. These beautiful flowering bushes you see everywhere in Greece. Um, you can see some behind me, but I'm borrowing my neighbor's oleanders as a background because I don't have them. And that's what this video is about. Uh, Before that, please be careful. They're toxic, so don't snack on them. And if you're working with them, wear gloves or at least wash your hands afterwards. Safety first. Anyway, with that out of the way, let's talk about propagating them. Because honestly, it's pretty fun and it actually works. Really easy. Oleanders are everywhere here. Along the roads, in gardens, even in the middle of nowhere. They thrive in the heat, and they survive the droughts, and they just keep flowering. So of course we wanted some in our garden too. But instead of buying plants, I thought, why not try cuttings? And guess what? It worked. Some in water, some in soil, some with a little greenhouse trick. I'll show you all of it. So let me show you what we've got. Here are the ones I started in water. You can see the roots forming on some of them. There they go. Nice and healthy. And over here, this is an earlier batch. I started them in water and then I transferred them to pots in soil. And they look very happy. I put a plastic bottle on top of them just to keep the humidity up, and it seems to do the trick. And it's a great way to recycle your plastic bottles. We try to use as little as possible of the bottles, but sometimes you need extra water. Well, not bad, right? Free plants. So today I'm going to move things around a bit. The rooted cutlings in the water, they're going into the pots. The older batch that's already in pots, they're getting an upgrade to the bigger pot. So that way everybody has more space, more soil and more nutrients. Right, let's get to it. Okay, fresh cuttings, here's how I do it. First, pick a healthy stem. This year's growth is best. And I believe late summer would be the best time, but I told you before I'm impatient. So, cut just below a node. Then remove most of the leaves. I usually keep 2 or 3 at the top. That's enough for photosynthesis without putting too much stress on the cutting. Now, let's move them, the old ones, into bigger pots. I just carefully loosen the soil, tip the pot and let the plant slide out. And then I place them in a new pot with fresh soil. Water them in and that's it. It's like giving them a bigger apartment. More space to stretch their legs. Or roots in this case. You can already see the roots circling the pot. That's a good sign. And they're ready for more space. I'll water them in. Ooh, that's going to be a tight fit. I see some new growth here. It's nice. Now, let's move the cuttings that I have already rooted in water to these pots. Planting them is easy. Just be careful not to damage the roots. Make a small hole in the soil and gently put the plant in. Press down the soil a little. We'll water them through and through because the roots are used to water. They will need to adjust to the soil. Now, let's try to fit these in. To keep them from drying out, I put half a plastic bottle over the top. It's an instant mini greenhouse and a great recycling use for plastic bottles. It keeps the humidity high and gives them a much better chance. Yeah. Nope. 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 I have to find something else for those. These are also too small. Yep. And finally the new cuttings. Just to see if it works, I'm going to plant 2 of them directly in the soil using rooting powder. Dip the cutting lightly in the powder and tip off the excess. This is the first time that I'm using rooting powder, and I'll share how it goes in the following updates. Hint hint, subscribe to this channel. I found a bigger bottle, so let's try to maximize the height. Small. Let's see. Yeah, perfect. There we go. The last remaining cuttings were lying here for an hour, and the cut might have dried in a little. So I make a new cut, just a bit higher before placing them in the water. It's just plain water that I refresh every 4 to 5 days. Roots will appear in 2 to 3 weeks. Don't forget that oleander is poisonous, so don't throw everything you've left on your compost pile. Throw them in your trash. So that's the process. Take cuttings, root them in water or soil, keep the humidity up, and move them once they're established. Anyway, that's it for today. Propagating oleander is simple, and it's a great way to fill your garden with color. I'll keep you posted on how these cuttings do over the next month. If you enjoyed this video or learned something new, give it a like and don't forget to subscribe if you want to follow along with more Mediterranean gardening and do-it-yourself projects. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.